Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I am back with a special episode of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. So many of you know, if you live in the city of New Orleans, we do have an election coming up, and there are going to be a number of people running for state representative, amongst other things. Well, tonight I'm very fortunate to have in the studio with me Mr. Jameel Shaheer, who is running for Louisiana State Representative, District 99.
Thank you. I am very, very, very welcome, very humble, very pleased to be here. Thank you.
I am so glad you're here. And I'm taking this as a great pleasure to really sit down and get to know you, because one of my platforms, of course, is literacy. But another thing is getting more people involved in the electoral process. When you look at the number of people who turn out, even for the mayor's race, or even with the presidential race, we don't have a lot of people who turn out. There are people who think that their vote doesn't count, or why should I vote anyway? They don't have my best interest at heart. So, what are you doing right now to maybe try to reach some of those people?
Well, we do have a lot of voter apathy, especially in the city, especially in the district in which I live and work in. So what we're actually doing is we're actually going out door to door, and we're talking to everybody to say, well, part of our thing is that I'm not a politician. I am a citizen. I live, I work, I have a small business in the community in which I live. So all the things that we're actually preaching, we're actually putting into effect. And when we're knocking on doors and when we're talking to the constituents and the residents, my neighbors, yes. I'm saying, hey, I am you, you are me, your concerns are my concerns. I have children. Yes. I have a business, I have a home, I have a car. My business is just your business. And that's just the message that we're relaying every door we knock on, to say, hey, your vote does count, because now you're voting for someone who's actually just like you, someone who wants to represent you just in Baton Rouge. That's all.
Okay, now, speaking of that, tell us who you are.
Wow. I'm just Jameel. Just Jameel. I promise you. It's just Jameel. Born and raised in New Orleans. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Went to St. Aug, played in the band. I love my high school. Speaking
of St. Aug, just big loss for St. Aug and that community
Coach
right
Washington,
now.
Yes. And actually his services are this weekend. And I'm sure it's going to be sad and because it was a devastating loss, again,
yes.
for our school. So I went to St. Aug, graduated in 89. Wow, 30 years ago. This is my 30th.
Wow. I only graduated 10 years ago. I'm kidding.
Then I went to Dillard, got my bachelor's from Dillard, and I was the accountant for the hockey team.
The hockey team?
The New Orleans Brass.
Okay.
So I've been here. I did move away for a little bit, but then I realized that New Orleans was in my blood, and I bleed beignet sauce and crawfish.
Where did you move?
Went to Dallas for a little while.
Okay. Well, I understand why you came back.
We had gotten, kind of frustrated with the city.
Mm-hmm.
We had gotten frustrated with a lot of things that were going on in the city, and we decided to take our family and we moved to Dallas. And we were there for probably like 2 years, and we were like, yeah, no, we have to go back and make a difference in our city. And we wanted our kids to have a New Orleans education, to have a New Orleans culinary skills. We wanted our kids to have, all those things that you get living in New Orleans.
It's interesting that you say that, because I do hear that a lot, where people who live in New Orleans and surrounding cities as well saying, I think it's time for me to move away. New Orleans isn't what I expected, or I don't have any opportunities in New Orleans anymore. Maybe I should move away. And often they do come back, but then some may go away. But what do you say to people? About staying here and trying to make that difference?
I have that conversation all the time about people wanting to live just in another parish, because statistics show that if you leave the parish, just St. Bernard, St. Tammany, Jefferson, your quality of life increases. And I tell them, just be patient. We have a great mayor, we have a great city council who are working on building a better city. We have a state delegation that's working on having a better state. It's coming, but we have had slow progress for so long, and we have had no progress for a period of time that, people get that, well, I'm ready to go because the grass looks greener on the other side. And it's actually not. Like, we live in a world-class city. We have world-class dining. We have world-class entertainment. We have world-class retail, all in our city. So just hold on, and it's going to get better. I promise you it's going to get better.
And speaking of getting better, you are running to represent District 99. So for those who may not be familiar with what that district encompasses, can you explain that?
District 99 is a part of the East. It's from French Road to Crowder, and then it's all of the Upper Ninth Ward and all of the Lower Ninth Ward. So it encompasses about 42,000 residents, and it has about 33,000 actual voters, registered voters.
Registered voters. That's now, for those who may not be registered voters yet, there's still time for them to get out there.
Definitely. You can register online. I carry voter registration cards in my car.
Yes.
And when we visit businesses and we talk to businesses about staying or opening another location in New Orleans or opening in the Ninth Ward, we also drop off voter registration cards for them as well. So you can, again, we were at a restaurant not too long ago, and I had on my shirt, and a young lady, she was like, "Oh, well, tell me what that's about." And she said that she hadn't registered to vote, and she registered to vote right there online. You can do it on your phone. I think it's govote.org.
Yes, but that Go Vote is GEAUX.
You can do it right on your phone, or if you see me, if I'm knocking on doors, I'll have voter registration cards with me.
And I always tell people that they can also download that app. I have my cell phone right here, and I have the Go Vote app right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
I have it on my phone as well.
I like this Go Vote app because not only can you see when you can get your voter information, you can see when you need to vote, but you can also find out who it is you're going to be voting for.
But also on that app, you can find out if you're actually a registered voter. So I talk when I'm talking to residents, I can actually check to say, hey, yes, you are a registered voter. This is you right here, and it can tell you what district you're in, where you're registered. Because sometimes we move and we don't actually move our voter registration.
Right.
So that it's a great app.
All right. So now let's just jump right on in there. District 99.
Yes.
I grew up in District 99. I grew up on Caffin Avenue. I went to Lawless for a while. I went to church in District 99. So that area has always been very, very, very close to my heart. And I was mentioning to you earlier that when I was younger, when I was in college, I would see people who saying I'm running for District 99, but they would talk about New Orleans East. And I noticed that you have a big interest in helping the upper and lower Ninth Ward, which is where I grew up. And so for me, that meant something to me. That okay, he's including us in his plans.
But you have to include the upper and the ninth ward in District 99. First of all, because it encompasses most of the district. The area in the east is a very small part of the east. It's again from French Road to Crowder, so it's probably 12,000 residents, whereas the other 30,000 residents reside in the upper and the ninth ward. The east has so many components that are looking out for the East. The mayor made it, one of her platforms that she was going to revitalize the East. Councilwoman Cindy Wynn, she said she was going to revitalize New Orleans East, but not a lot of people talked about the Ninth Ward, and I think not a lot of people talked about the Ninth Ward because in their campaigns, there are a lot of big voices in the Ninth Ward, and they carry votes with them. They get out, they canvass, and they carry votes. So when they said we're going to help this candidate carry the Ninth Ward, well, they didn't have to really include them in their plans because they were going to carry those wards anyway because of those giant voices that are in the Ninth Ward, upper and the lower Ninth Ward. So for me, my father grew up in the Ninth Ward. I think a lot of people in this city have either one generation or two generations that may have been from the Ninth Ward. So it is an area that is real viable. It's an area that's really meaningful to a lot of people in the city. So we have to take care of that area. We have a lot of our seniors that live in that area who has a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
They have a lot of knowledge about the city. They have a lot of knowledge about the Ninth Ward, and we need to cultivate that. So a lot of what I'm saying is centered around the Ninth Ward because we do need some help in that area.
And for those of you who may not be familiar with the Ninth Ward, basically, if you're driving down Claiborne Avenue, what is that? What is that one street? Once you cross it, you're in the Upper Ninth Ward.
Poland.
Yes. So you're in the Upper Ninth Ward, which is where the bridge is, the G&O Bridge, or the Industrial Canal, the Industrial Canal Bridge. So you cross that bridge, then you're in the Lower Ninth Ward. And then if you keep going now, all of a sudden you're not in the Ninth Ward anymore. You are in St. Bernard Parish. Yes. So, unfortunately, the Ninth Ward can kind of get forgotten about because of its location. When people drive into New Orleans, they're going to drive through New Orleans East. But as we mentioned before, people don't really go to the Ninth Ward unless they're going to visit someone or if they really have some business there. It's not an area of the city that people just drive through.
Correct.
So does that make them sometimes maybe forgotten about?
It definitely does. And they feel forgotten about because we're, 14, 15 years after Katrina, and we're just getting a grocery store in the Ninth Ward. We're just getting some of the residents back. So we have developers that's coming in and actually doing building some houses, and so we're able to move more of people back into the Ninth Ward, but it's been a slow, almost to no progress for the Ninth Ward.
Right. No movie theaters, no grocery stores.
No major retail, no major dining, no major entertainment venues. And we're looking to change that. We're definitely looking to change that because we want everyone in New Orleans' quality of life to be enhanced. It doesn't have to just be Lakeview. It doesn't just have to be Broadmoor.
Yes.
Although we love those areas, but we want our areas also to have a great quality of life. So we need entertainment. We need great retailing. We need great dining.
If you would like to ask some questions of Mr. Jameel Shaheer, you can call in. This is a live show. The number is 563-999-1808. And we'll put that number into the comment section as well, just to remind you. But the number is 563-999-1808. So I've been following you for a while, and you have been all over the place. Every time I hear about an event in the area, you were at that event. And one time, yesterday, I was like, how in the world was he at like 3 events at one time?
I was probably at 5 or 6. I try to go to where the voters are.
Yes.
I try to go to, well, I love New Orleans. So if there's a band and some food, I'm probably going to be there also, no matter what part of town it's in. Because
Hey,
again,
you were at my event.
we have to support all aspects of the city. So I do try to get out. I do try to be visible because this is my city. And I love it. Again, like I said earlier, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. New Orleans has all the ingredients that we need to make the best pot of gumbo in the world. Whether it's from the 7th Ward, whether it's from the Lower Ninth, the Upper Ninth, New Orleans East, Uptown, Broadmoor,
Yes.
we have all the ingredients that we need right here. So I do try to get out when I'm not doing stuff with my kids or when I'm not doing stuff at home. And I think when I was leaving to come to the show, I was like, I need to cut the grass. But I try to get out and just see New Orleans because it is a great place to live.
And I think that's really what people want to hear. They want to hear that the people who represent them actually have a heart for their city.
And I do. Because it's not just their city, it's my city.
Absolutely.
I moved away and we came back because we wanted our kids to have everything that we grew up with. We wanted them to have, again, the culinary skills, the education, to be able to say, I'm from the Ninth Ward, and, where you went to school at. I went to St. Aug, I went to Carr, so we wanted them to have that experience as well because, again, New Orleans is a world-class city.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, I'd like to talk a little bit more about your platform, some of the things that you have pledged to do for the district once you're elected. And I'm going to say once you're elected because I'm speaking it into existence.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys stay right there. We will be right back. If you know somebody who lives in the Upper Ninth Ward, the Lower Ninth Ward, New Orleans East, tag them, invite them to this show because this is a very important show. We're talking about issues that directly affect you, and we want you to be a part of it. So bring in as many people, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will be right back. My name is Dr. Rhonda Lawson. We are talking with Louisiana State Representative District 99 candidate, Mr. Jameel Shaheer. Oh, that's a lot to say.
Just Jameel. Just Jameel.
They need to know both names. We'll be right back. Show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See? The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there.
Well, what's up, everybody? This is boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with G Sports. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, aka G, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money! money.
New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you. What do you think? And we're back. This is your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am speaking with State Representative candidate for District 99, Mr. Jameel Shaheer, and he was just talking about why he wants to run for state representative. And he was talking about how he has a heart for New Orleans, which I think is very important. And now I'd like to just really dive into his actual platform and his plan for District 99.
Well, after I finished Dillard, I taught high school for years. I taught in OPSB.
Okay, but I don't know what that is.
Orleans Parish School Board. I'm sorry. I worked at, I taught at Booker Washington. I taught algebra, geometry, biology,
Oh, goodness.
general science, intro to computers, and I was the assistant band director.
You were like all STEM and music.
Yes. One of the, Dr. Thornberry, who was over hiring at the time, she looked at my transcript. She said, go to Booker T and tell Ronald I said to hire you. and that's what he did. In my first year, I was actually runner-up for Teacher of the Year.
Nice.
And if you know anything about Booker T, it's directly across from the Calio project. Well, what was the Calio project?
Yes.
Like my classroom, I could literally stick my hand out the window and touch the Calio project. But they had great things going on at Booker Washington. So after Booker Washington, I did accounting because my degree is in accounting. I did some audits for the Flamingo Casino when it was here. So I got to see downtown and how downtown worked. Again, I moved away, got an advanced degree, came back, had children and watched them go through the education process, the education system. And then for the last 12 years, I've actually been a New Orleans firefighter. So with all of that, being able to see from the education side, being able to see from a public servant side, being able to actually see from corporate America side, I said this city needs some help. We have world-class things going on, but some of the cogs and spacely sprockets that make everything go around need some help.
That's basically sparkling.
So you know, being able to see it from all different aspects, I developed the platform that we have, and education is number one, and we need to fully fund from early childhood education all the way up to fully funding the TOPS program. And when I am elected, and even if I'm not elected, I'm going to make sure that those programs get funded, that we get more spots in our early childhood education, and that we actually get more funding that goes into the TOPS program. Because we lose a lot of our great minds, we lose a lot of our great talents, because if the college education that's here is the same as a Howard or a Harvard or a Notre Dame, we lose those great minds to those other institutions, and then we essentially lose great residents with great minds, because they go other places and they say, well, this works a little better than home. And so we want to keep those great minds here, and we want them to go through the education system, being able to read, being able to compute math, being able to work out science projects and then go on to college and then stay in the state of Louisiana and make Louisiana the great state that we know it is. So education is definitely number one.
And education has kind of gotten a bad rap in the city of New Orleans. People feel like education in New Orleans is less than. We've also had a lot of the fight about the charter schools, and just about public education in general. So your plan actually includes trying to.
From the state level, it would actually just be funding.
Okay.
To try to get more funding. But on a personal level, what we want to do is we want to take those charter schools, because it just seems like they're not going away, and we have to deal with them. So what we want to do is we want to make those charter schools more accountable and more responsible for our children, because if we don't take care of our children, then we don't take care of our neighborhoods, then again we don't take care of our city, and we don't take care of our state. So we have to start by making those people who educate our children from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. accountable for what they're giving to our children and responsible for what they're giving our children. So education is definitely number one in my plan.
And that actually feeds into the question that we either love or hate to talk about, which is usually the crime issue. A lack of education can also directly feed into the higher crime rate. So what do we do when we're having people who don't want to go into District 99 because they say the crime is so high?
Again, well, it all starts with education. So if we can educate them better, the next part of the platform is raising the minimum wage. I know that in the current session that we're in, they tried to raise the minimum wage to, I believe it was $9, and it actually got tabled. So believe me, next session it will be on the table, and if we have to do it in increments, then we'll do it in increments. But whatever the method that we have to do, so that we can take those great minds that we're educating, and then we can put them to work with
and they can actually make a living wage.
A living wage, right?
Yeah.
And then that way, we build better communities, we build better neighborhoods, we build a better city.
And I believe in your platform, you would like it to go to that $15.
$15, right? And again, they tabled it at $9, so maybe we have to make make it in increments. But it is definitely my plan to get it up to at least 15.
Yeah. As speaking as someone who worked at Burger King, going through high school and parts of college before I joined the military. I remember I was a kid. I felt like I was a kid. I was 19, 20 years old. But there were people who were trying to take care of families, and they wound up having to quit those jobs because they said they were only making just enough money to catch the bus to work.
Exactly.
They weren't making enough to actually feed their families.
And that's bad, because anybody who puts in an 8-hour day of work, you go home and your collar's wet, you need to be able to have enough to feed your family, to keep your lights on, and to have a cell phone, and to buy some clothes, and to do all those things that you should be able to do as an adult. So yes, that definitely at least $15 is where we want it to go.
So, and I've heard people, usually people who are not working fast food and probably have never worked fast food, say that why do people who work at fast food or any minimum wage job, why do they need more money? Why do they really need $15 an hour? That's their life choice, and so they should get what they get. Well, how do you respond to people who say things like that?
I would say clock in for a few hours at one of those jobs, and then tell me at the end of the day what you think they should get paid. Because I worked McDonald's. I had ketchup running through my veins. It actually paid for a few of those chemistry books that I had at Dillard. So believe me, you work hard, and you want to be able to, again, feed your family, pay your rent, your mortgage, your insurance at the end of the day, because you have put in a hard day's work. So my job, my thing to them was just clock in. Go work there for a month, and you tell me at the end of that month what those people should get paid.
Absolutely.
What my people should get paid.
And I guess that's why I feel like it all stems into that crime issue, because one, if I don't have a great education, and I'm getting paid less than what I deserve to be getting paid, and I can't afford to even buy shoes or buy the uniform to go to work, or I can't afford that cell phone. And I know they're giving free cell phones out, but just follow me. But then maybe my next choice is to go take what I need because I have to feed my family.
Well, I was actually at one of those events that you were talking about. We went to Franklin Avenue, my son and I, and they had a mentoring programship going on, and it was a great
Yeah, she was
conversation.
there on I believe it was Saturday.
Saturday,
Yes.
they had a great conversation going on, and one of the things that one of the questions that was asked by one of the youth pastors that was there, he was like, "Are those people out there stealing to get food? Are they stealing to pay the rent?" No, that's not what they're out there doing. They're not stealing to pay rent. They're not stealing to put food on the table. They're stealing to have tennis shoes and jeans and jewelry and hats. So we need to, again, have a better education system, be able to pay them what they're worth so that then they're not out there stealing for tennis shoes and
Right.
jewelry and things like that they see on the television.
And it is sad though, because we feel like, okay, I don't have it, but they're making fun of me because I'm not wearing the best shoes or I'm not wearing the best jacket. I remember graduating with a guy from, I graduated from John F. Kennedy. I went to Lawless, but I graduated from Kennedy.
We won't hold that against you.
But I remember I graduated with a young man who was shot because he didn't want to give up his starter jacket. And you remember starter jackets back in the day, everybody wanted one.
Right.
But when you don't have the money to buy these things. I mean, those of us who were working fast food, yeah, we bought our stuff. But there were people who weren't able to do that. And so they wind up stealing.
So a part of our campaign mantra is believe, value, and change. And the change part is probably the hardest because the change that I want people to do is you have to change your mindset.
Yes.
And so if you see somebody with a starter jacket, well, maybe not a starter jacket.
Yeah,
now,
not anymore.
but whatever the new thing is,
Yes.
change your mindset from, hey, I'm going to go and steal and rob to get it. But now the new mindset is, hey, I can go work over here and I can buy my own. And
Yes.
not only can I buy that, I can buy the shoes to go with it, I can buy the hat to go with it and the shirt,
Mhm.
and I can still have some money to bedazzle my cell phone case.
Is that the best you could come up with?
I don't know I don't know what the kids are doing now.
Yeah.
So another part of the platform is the affordable housing.
Yes, that's a big one. I mean, right now, I remember when I got ready to move back to New Orleans, I was looking for houses, and I was like, wow, are they really charging this much for a shotgun house? I saw a shotgun house that they were selling for $300,000.
They put a firewall down there, and they were actually selling two sides, one side for 150, the other side for 150.
That is crazy.
It is. And I saw something not too long ago. It was like the market rate for a one bedroom in New Orleans is like $1,200. A two bedroom is $1,500, and the three bedroom is $1,800.
Yes.
Well, if you make $725, there's no way that you could
Exactly.
afford to live in a one bedroom house of
Mhm.
market rate in New Orleans. So we definitely need more affordable housing. And what I'm doing now is so we're not waiting until until we win the election. We're actually working now. We have we have two parts. So we're working with some developers and
Mhm.
contractors and some rental property owners, and I'm a rental property owner as well. And we have agreed to take less money
Okay.
than the market rate. I have a couple 2 bedrooms that I rent out for $600. I have a 3 bedroom that I rent out for $750, and I haven't raised the rent in 4 years. Actually, I've put solar panels to actually decrease their energy bill to help them be able to put more money to have more money in their
And there's
home.
basically a coalition of you all who
Correct.
have decided to do this
Correct.
to provide more affordable homes.
Correct. And that's something that we're doing now. So the other part of that is we partner with, I can't think of the name. It used to be the Melfamine Project. I can't think of the complex name now.
Right.
But we have identified 25 people who were pretty close to home ownership, and we're actually taking them from subsidized housing and moving them, we're transitioning them with credit repair, mortgage, getting all their stuff together to move them from subsidized housing into home ownership.
That's very interesting because you could just easily say, okay, we're going to put you into this home over here, and poof, you have a better life. But you know that there's going to be more to it. Credit repair. There's a mindset change. So you're actually doing an actual transition. I like that word.
Right.
Not just a move, but an actual transition.
So the 25 people that we've identified, we started working with probably a month ago. And by December, at least 23 of them should be in their home.
Mm-hmm.
And then next year, we want to take on another 25 and move those also into home ownership.
Okay, I'd like to stay right there. I'll have to take another break. Don't forget you can call in. The phone number is 563-999-1808. But I'd like to go ahead and stay within that vein of home ownership because I know that's a big issue right here in New Orleans right now. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get back. I'm your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson. We're talking with Jameel Shaheer, State Representative, District 99. And I want you guys to stick with us because we have a whole lot more information that we're going to dive into. So don't forget, tag somebody who lives in District 99. Let them know about this show. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll be right back. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 514.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30, with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Quote 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And hashtag TTBF. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, we are back. This is your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, talking with Jameel Shaheer. We were just talking about affordable housing, and I wanted to stick with that vein for a bit because that has been pretty much of a big issue. People were saying that they can't afford the home, so people are moving out of the city. Not just out of the city, as some people even moving out of the state. Some people... I actually saw a sign once. I don't remember what part of the city I was driving in, but it said, I'm going to quote it exactly what it said. It said, "Don't sell them people your house. No, they out here gentrifying." They actually wrote it that way. So, I mean, and it's been a big thing now. They feel like people are coming in and they're taking over and they're pushing the poor people out, or the people who've been here for so long, they feel like they're being pushed out, while what, let's say, out of towners or the gentrifiers or the colonizers, whatever they want to call them, are moving in and they're making things more expensive for them.
Well, that's definitely the trend, and it has some good pieces to it, as well as some not so good pieces, because they are buying homes that are blighted or vacant, so they are revitalizing the neighborhood. So, I mean, we have to applaud the people who are willing to invest in those neighborhoods. And the other side of it is the people who were in those neighborhoods, we have to tell them that you need to start investing in your own neighborhood. And, everything starts at home. So if you invest in your neighborhood, well, then you don't have to write those signs, or you don't have to, see those signs, because we're already investing in our own home and in our own neighborhood.
But now I have to ask, because I agree with you, but I'm wondering, what about the person who's only making enough money to put food on the table? They can barely afford to fix the hole in their screen, let alone trying to invest in their neighborhood. And invest can be a scary word for somebody who doesn't make a lot. And we just finished talking about people who may be making less than the living wage. They're making less than $15 an hour. So how do we tell them that they should invest in their neighborhoods, invest in their homes, if they don't feel they can afford to do it?
Well, one thing I would say, you have to start at home. And if you start to, you can learn how to do just about anything on YouTube. So if you have a hole in your screen, you can probably go to YouTube and you can find a video that will help you fix your hole in your screen. And then you start a neighborhood watch. You start a neighborhood cleanup. You start lots of things that doesn't require a lot of funding. And even if it does require funding, you can probably call the city, I think it's Clean Up NOLA, that will provide you with some of the bags, the gloves, and a lot of the cleanup supplies. And then also supporting your neighborhood businesses, because and then we have to employ those businesses to also invest in that neighborhood, because they're in that neighborhood. So you start small and you start with the things that you can do.
Right.
And then as you gain experience, as you gain education, as you gain more funds, you can do more. But you start small. You start with the things that you can do.
Right. So everybody doesn't have to be a real estate investor in order to improve their own neighborhoods.
Correct.
Okay, I understand that totally. The other part is, you mentioned neighborhood watches, starting a neighborhood watch. There may be a neighborhood watch going on in your neighborhood. You just have to go to it.
And that may be the case. And again, there's lots of programs, there's lots of groups and community organizations, neighborhood organizations. And I forget, the mayor's, she has on her website, it's neighborhood engagement. If you go to her website, or if you, was it Nextdoor? There's an app,
Yes.
Nextdoor. You can access it on your phone or your
Nextdoor
laptop.
has scared the mess out of me. Everybody's just posting everything that's happening in their neighborhoods. They're posting all of the crime that's going on in their neighborhoods. It can be a very scary
But they're
app.
also posting where they have meetings.
Yes.
My neighborhood, Westlake Forest, we didn't have a neighborhood association, and we're actually now having our first neighborhood association meeting on the 30th. And I spoke with the buildings manager at Livingston, and she allowed us to have our neighborhood association meeting at the school. So if you don't have a neighborhood association, or you're not sure of where it is, check the mayor's app, the neighborhood engagement part of her website, or the city's website, Nextdoor. And if you live in the 9th Ward or the New Orleans East, Councilwoman Cindy Wynn, she has Facebook Live where she talks about all the things in her neighborhood. Kristen Palmer, she's a very good tweeter. She tweets a lot of stuff about things that go on in
I
her
will
district.
say about both of those ladies, they are very engaged in their areas.
Definitely. And I met with Councilwoman Palmer and Councilwoman Wynn on countless occasions about things that go on in the city. In this last 10 months, I probably talked to thousands of people. Most of them, the concerns that they have are city concerns. So I meet with Councilwoman Wynn, Councilwoman Palmer, so I can find out how to direct those concerns that they have. So when you come to me, and I'll have an answer for you, even if it's not a state issue, if it's a city issue, if it's a neighborhood issue, I'll try to have the answer for you.
So that engagement with the council members in those areas, that's something that you plan to continue.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
And that's one of the leaflets on our platform that we're going to continue to work with the city council, the mayor's office, and all of the neighborhood leaders, and we're going to engage everybody to make this a contact sport, because we can no longer lead by a few people telling the multitude of people what to do. And I often said that what we have to do, because our representatives and our elected officials, they work for us as residents. They work for us. So we have to put together a plan and say, I want this, and this done. And then you go to that person and say, this is what we need to do. And if you can't do it, you know what? There's another election, and we'll replace you with somebody who can do these things that we need done.
And see, that goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the interview, is about getting out there and getting involved in the electoral process, that we don't have to feel powerless because we think that somebody doesn't have our best interest. If the people that we put into office don't have our best interest, it is our duty to engage them.
And again, I've knocked on countless doors, and I leave everybody with my email address, and I think we've been posting it, and I leave them also with my number. And I said, write down your top 5 concerns, because if I can't handle those top 5 concerns, then I'm not the person for the job. And I've gotten countless emails, I've gotten countless phone calls, text messages. I think my phone's ringing now with constituents and residents and neighbors calling saying, these are my 5 things. These are the 5 things that I'm concerned about in my neighborhood. These are the 5 things that I'm concerned about for my children. These are the 5 things I'm concerned about for my home. And I answer. I answer them all. And again, that goes back to my meetings with Councilwoman Wynn, Councilwoman Palmer. I met with Councilman at Large, Jason Williams. I have a couple meetings with the DA Canizero coming up. So I can have some of those answers when I get those 5 things in my emails and my text messages and the phone calls, so that I can answer them, because I want to have the answers, because I have those same 5 concerns.
That's what I'm talking about. I understand. Okay, I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, caller.
You can't hear me?
Okay, we're gonna give our producer.
Can you hear me?
There he is. We hear you now.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I had a few questions and a comment or two for the candidate here, Mr. Jameel.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm fine, man. Thank you for taking out the time to, come out here and let everybody know what you plan on, what's your plans for the future of your district out there in New Orleans.
Definitely.
I live in Untitled Parish, but one of my little boos live out there, so I got to be concerned for her well-being too, my brother.
Okay.
Listen, I just had a couple of questions. My first question is this. What makes you think you can beat the current state representative that holds the seat right now?
Again, for the last 10 months, I've gotten out and I have talked to countless number of people, and we're going to continue to talk. We're going to continue to knock on doors. We're going to continue to canvass those neighborhoods. And the first reaction is always, they don't even know who their state representative is. So me getting out and actually talking to them, so that they know who I am, giving them avenues in which they can contact me 24 hours a day, and knowing that I will respond. I think that that's the first step. The second step is that they actually understand that my concerns are their concerns, because I live in those neighborhoods, because my children go to school in those neighborhoods, because we go to the library in those neighborhoods. So they understand that my concerns are actually their concerns. So they're not voting for a politician. They're actually voting for their neighbor. And that makes them feel a lot better about the process, and it makes them feel a lot better about who is actually representing them.
But that's a very important question that the caller asked, because often when a candidate challenges the incumbent, they have a really big uphill battle, because unfortunately our city votes on name recognition. And if they know that their state representative, they know that person's name, and they're like, I don't know this guy's name, Jameel. I'm not sure who that is. Well, I'm going to vote for the guy who's already in there, because I already know that. I already know that devil. That might not be. He might not be the best for. I'm not saying he is or he's not, but that's the thought process that we often go through. We're going to put him back in. We have seen people who we knew didn't have our best interests at heart, but we voted them back in because that person was the homie. That person lived in our neighborhood. That person went to school with us. That person's my friend, or that person gives a good party, or whatever it is, and that person gets into office. So you do have kind of an uphill battle. So I think that's why the caller asked the question. Am I on track, caller?
Yeah, you are on track. I had two more questions, and I will hang up, and I will let the state representative, state representative candidate answer these questions. The first question is, how many state representatives are there in the state of Louisiana? And that's the second part to that question. How many of them do you think you have to work with to get some things done? And my other question is, New Orleans has a infrastructure issue, it has a crime problem, and it has an education problem. What is your number one priority if you are elected as state representative? Your number one priority as state representative, and I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you so much for your call. And I'll try to see if I can remember them all. There's 105 state representatives in the state, and the way it's positioned, so that each representative represents about 42,000 residents. How many do I feel I need to work with? I probably need to work with 104 of them.
Yes.
In order to get things done. So I have talked to a few of them, but some of them I went to Dillard with, some of them I went to St. Hog with, some of them are my homies and my friends. They give a good party. So usually when you draft legislation or you support legislation that's for your district, if it doesn't affect their district, then they usually vote for your bill.
It's about establishing relationships.
Everything. It's definitely about a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I think that I have done that, especially with the New Orleans delegation. I've reached out to candidates. I've gone to their announcement parties and some of their fundraisers and some of their mix and mingles. So when the new slate of representatives are there, I can say, hey, I kind of know them already.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had some conversation at least, and
right.
We know that our platforms and concerns are all in line, and the number one concern is again education, and I think that all those other things are systemic, and they root and they stem from the education system. If we can fix and repair and get it on the right track, I think that the crime and all those other things actually fall into place.
Infrastructure is a big one because I can't have a good quality of education if I'm basically learning in a subpar building, or or bumping, or my car doesn't work because I keep hitting potholes. So
I was actually talking to one of my neighbors, and she said she took her car in, and the mechanic told her she could get a 3-month wheel alignment. I was like, I thought they lasted a lot longer than 3 months, but I guess he was just accounting for the potholes in the city. And I can say that Mayor Cantrell has been doing an excellent job at working on the infrastructure. I think the French Quarter is on phase 4 of completion. She also has 5 crews that work in 5 different areas of the city every day. Girl Trek has worked with the mayor so that all the streets that we're redoing now are complete streets. So they have crosswalks, they have handicap accessible, we have bike lanes.
Bike lanes is important.
Yes, definitely. So every street that they're now repairing. And again, she has 5 different crews on 5 different areas of the city. Excuse me. When she came into office, she found $125 million to fix our infrastructure, and then she just went to Baton Rouge to work on our fair share. So we're going to use some of that money also to repair our sewage and water board system.
So those changes that you talked about are coming.
They're coming. Now, they're not going to be yesterday, because the last I checked, I think we have a backlog of 52,000 potholes. I want to say
potholes have been around for as long as I've been alive.
So we're working on it.
Yes.
I think we even got the Domino's truck filling some potholes. But the city also cuts close to, I think, 300,000 acres of grass. So when you say, when you call 311 and you say, hey, my grass is growing, they're going to get to it. It's just they have 299,000 acres more to cut than just the lot maybe next door to your house.
And unfortunately, we're just about done.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, no, it goes by quickly. But now, you've talked about a lot, though. You've talked about education. You've talked about crime. You've talked about affordable housing and infrastructure. And then you've talked about basically yourself. So what is that one message that you want to leave voters with as we end the show?
Again, our motto is believe, value, change. Believe in the process, believe in us, and it's going to all work out. To whom much is given, much is expected. Value. We value our residents, we value our neighborhoods, we value our city. And change. We're going to change our mindset. We're going to change the way we look at things. We're going to change the way we do things. Believe, value, change.
All right. I like it. Believe, value, change. So thank you for joining us tonight, and just introducing yourself to your constituents for those who haven't had a chance to meet you yet. Where can people find out more information about you?
Our website, and my IT guys is actually, we've had the last 6 or 7 days, our server has been down, but our website is www.jameelshaheer.com, JAMELSHAHEER.com. And we'll take any of your emails at info@jameelshaheer.com, and my personal phone number is 504-684-9965. I answer it 24 hours, and if I don't answer it, I may be on the show with Dr. Rhonda, and I would definitely get back to you. If you send me a text message, I would definitely send it back. So JameelShaheer.com, email at info@jameelshaheer.com, and 504-684-9965.
All right. Well, thank you once again for coming out. We wish you success in your campaign. The actual election is October 12th. October 12th, 2019.
Yes.
Okay. So you do have an uphill battle. You are running against the incumbent, but I think just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep your head up. So Thank you for coming, and thank you all for joining us tonight. You've heard all of his contact information, so if you want to reach out, get more information about anything that we've talked about tonight, just give him a call or give him an email or visit his website once the server's up, right?
Yes.
Okay, the server's up. All right. So thank you once again for joining us tonight. Join us again next week. We're going to have another candidate for state representative, not his incumbent. We're going to be talking with James Simmons Jr. from District 83. He's going to be on the show next week to talk about his plan for his district. So this is great. This is what it's all about. We want you guys to get out and vote. We want you to make informed votes and informed decisions about who is representing us and at the state level in Baton Rouge. So keep tuning in. Ask those questions, comment, subscribe, and everything else. And we will be back next week with more information and with James C. Simmons Jr.
Thank
you. All right. Thank you, Jameel Shaheer. It's been great. All right. Have a great night.